welcome to a brand new series of Young Turks at 13. I'm Shireen Bhan. For the past 13 years, this show has put the spotlight on India's most successful young entrepreneurs, and the journey now continues. Before we go any further, here's what we have lined up for you on the show today. Let's start with Big League, where we feature companies that are pegged to become India's next billion-dollar ventures. Our guest today is Bangalore-based entrepreneur who's worked unobtrusively to build a global software business that provides highly specialized tools for commodity trading and risk management. Founded by Manav Garg in 2004, Eka Software Solutions counts multi-billion-dollar giants like Cargill, Rio Tinto and BHP Billiton as clients and has grossed over 200 crore rupees in revenues last year. From humble beginnings in a small town in Punjab to setting up a venture that's today the 5th largest player in the commodity software market globally. Let's take a look at Manav's guts to glory journey. Born and brought up in Moga in Punjab, Manav Garg learnt early on that entrepreneurship is not an easy path to tread. Manav's father had tried his hand at seeding small businesses 4 times, and each time the business didn't work out. Subhash Chandra Garg went back to his job at Nestle till inspiration struck once again to start up.
We have gone through a situation where we had this amount of money in the house, to even when when the next month we don't know what's going to happen the next month in terms of finances, right? We saw sometimes we are going for holidays, sometimes we're buying clothes, and the next quarter or next year we don't have the money to buy clothes, so we'll just use the same clothes. And my father never looked down, and he always came back and again came back and again started, earn enough to start again, earn enough to start again. So I think what kind of thing we do is just take big risk, and as a family we started getting very comfortable with that situation where you say take the risk and we'll see what happens.
Manav moved out of Moga for the first time when he was 17 to study engineering in Jalandhar, but spent most of his time teaching himself basic English instead, only to return to Moga post-graduation to dabble with the idea of setting up a hardware factory. When that didn't work out, Manav embarked on his first big city experience as he put himself through an MBA at the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade in Delhi. From there, he was handpicked by the GP Group in Singapore as a commodities trader. Manav spent 2 years traveling the world and learning the ins and outs of the commodity trade business, and this brought him to the threshold of entrepreneurship in 2001.
I didn't tell my friends, and not even to my best friends as well. And that too, I think my understanding of psyche, is always parents have that love for you. They may take risks, but they want because I was earning $10,000 in 1998. It's such a good salary, and everything was perfect. I was in Singapore, so nothing could be better from parents' perspective. Everything is settled in life. Everything is done right. So, and same with friends also. The moment you talk to your friend, what happens is they will say, okay, you're earning $120,000 a month. If you start now 3 years, so you will down by $250,000. So you get into this huge amount of analysis, and that becomes a big comfort-taking risk, I think. And that's the reason I just didn't tell anybody. Nobody. I was the only person who knew. Nobody in my colleagues, no friends, no parents. I just left my job and we'll take the risk and we'll see. I always have a fallback on the professional degree I have. I'll get a job somewhere in the world for sure.
So with a year's worth of savings as a runway and an idea to develop a software product that could significantly help companies dealing in agricultural commodities mitigate supply chain risks and price volatilities, Manav leveraged the contacts he had built at GP with global commodity ventures to pitch and ratify his idea.
I just started with a global base, I think just because I came out of that platform or my job, and straightway went into those relationships who I knew in Europe and US. So I would call them and I would just travel on the top of the hat and be with them next morning. So I think it is more to do with the job I had before, and which kind of prepared me for a global business.
But one thing Manav was sure of was that he wanted Eka to be an India-born, India-based venture. So with a fair idea of the kind of product the market wanted and $1 million in angel money from his former boss Kirit Shah of the GP Group, Manav set up Eka Software Solutions in Bangalore. His first hire was an engineer who could convert pages of Manav's handwritten notes into software code.
I don't think I fully utilized it for about 4-5 years, I think, because we were very profitable from day one. So that's what I'm saying. So the frugal part, I still believe in the companies that I invest in. That's what I tell everybody, that being frugal is extremely important, because then you keep the money for the rainy days. So I didn't know anything about the software, right? So the most money goes in building the software, coming down to Bangalore, finding people to build the software. There also I negotiated the deal. We'll give them some part cash and part small equity, so that I can preserve my cash outflow. And then I didn't go on spending major firing 10 guys on the sales side and trying to do it. So we really build the company, making sure that the company is profitable.
By the end of the year, Manav had roped in his first client, Andira Trading, a Netherlands-based commodity trading firm, and closed the first year in the green with revenues of 2.5 crore rupees. The venture has been profitable ever since. But being an India-based product company has had its shortfalls too.
Quality of thought process in an individual makes a lot of difference to get over that hump. There was another company which I won't name here. It is a very large, it's a $100 billion company. So it is based in the US. So I was in front of their global CIO. He said, son, he's a 50-year-old. He said, son, I like everything about you, your product, and I'm sure you'll do best job. But I just can't believe Indian company will do anything. You will take $3 million from me and not appear again ever in front of me.
An eye-opening meeting, Manav embarked on a journey to build Eka with a long-term focus by investing heavily in R&D, bringing out new products every year, investing in a global sales force and operations abroad wherever required to ensure that Eka's product offering was always differentiated enough. 3 years later, the client gave Eka business worth $10 million. Today, the venture clocks revenues of $33 million, and Manav says he has enough headroom over the next 3 years to reach his target of becoming a $100 million company.
The reason I'm stressing on the thought of building a larger company is extremely important, because thought really drives everything. When I hired my global head of sales, we were just $3 million. Nobody would pay a salary of $500,000 at that scale. Even today, people hesitate to spend that money. Similarly, we hired chief operating officer ahead of time. So that really helped us build that. So we were not in there to make short-term money. So we didn't take any profits home. I could have a very good life. I could have bought a big house, big car. Life would have been very, very smooth. So all that went into saying, okay, how do we build scale? Get professionals ahead of time and then take that risk. So I think it's the risk-taking ability and the thought of building a large software company has helped us reach here.
Eka today has offices and R&D support centers across Asia, Australia, Europe, US and Canada, and has raised $50 million from leading investors. The plan now is to get to the $100 million mark and get there inorganically if the opportunities present themselves.
I think there are two things. One is, again, we got 4 or 5 acquisition offers in the lifespan of the company so far, and every time people say, "Oh, you got acquired, you're a success story." So again, we're contributing there. So I always have thought that why don't we go and acquire rather than getting acquired all the time? We always look towards US company to come and acquire us. We have the equal opportunity provided you can raise capital at a decent valuation, right? So that is one. Again, the idea of building a company to a scale. The second is we are a product-driven strategy organization. So for us, the motivation is not to increase revenue or market share. So what we said, now it's a build versus buy thing for us. So either we can put 20 engineers and spend 2 years and build another product or a complementary product, or we can look for an IP which makes financial sense and product sense and buy them out. So that's the analysis we do at every point in time.
Team building and creativity tempered with discipline. Those are the principles on which Manav has built Eka, and he is wishing him the very best for the future. Now, the Eka story is just one of the 13 inspiring tech startup stories that we feature in a Young Turks book that will be published later this year. So over the next few weeks, we bring you more such inspiring stories, so keep watching this space. It is time now for us to head into a break here on Young Turks, but coming up next, we tell you why online tax filing website ClearTax was picked by Silicon Valley-based accelerator Y-Combinator as its first India-focused incubator. Stay tuned for that and more.